Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad-gita as it is, chapter 12, text 6 and 7, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti-vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananyainaiva yogena mang dhyayanta upasate teshamahang samudharta mrityu sangsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha mayaveshita chetasam. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Purport. It is explicitly stated here that the devotees are very fortunate to be delivered very soon from material existence by the Lord. In pure devotional service, one comes to the realization that God is great and that the individual soul is subordinate to Him. His duty is to render service to the Lord, and if he does not, then he will render service to Maya. As stated before, the Supreme Lord can be appreciated only by devotional service. Therefore, one should be fully devoted. One should fix his mind fully on Krsna in order to achieve Him. One should work only for Krsna. It does not matter in what kind of work one engages, but that work should be done only for Krsna. That is the standard of devotional service. The devotee does not desire any achievement other than pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His life's mission is to please Krishna, and he can sacrifice everything for Krishna's satisfaction, just as Arjuna did in the battle of Kurukshetra. The process is very simple. One can devote himself in his occupation and engage at the same time in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Such transcendental chanting attracts the devotee to the personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord herein promises that without delay He will deliver a pure devotee thus engaged from the ocean of material existence. Those who are advanced in yoga practice can willfully transfer the soul to whatever planet they like by the yoga process, and others take the opportunity in various ways, but as far as the devotee is concerned, it is clearly stated here that the Lord Himself takes him. The devotee does not need to wait to become very experienced in order to transfer himself to the spiritual sky. In the Varaha Purana, this verse appears. Nayami paramang sthanam achir adi gating vina garuda skandham aropya yathecham anivaritaha. The purport of this verse is that a devotee does not need to practice Ashtanga Yoga in order to transfer his soul to the spiritual planets. The responsibility is taken by the Supreme Lord Himself. He clearly states here that He Himself becomes the deliverer. A child is completely cared for by his parents, and thus his position is secure. Similarly, a devotee does not need to endeavor to transfer himself by yoga practice to other planets. Rather, the Supreme Lord, by His great mercy, comes at once, riding on His bird carrier Garuda, and at once delivers the devotee from material existence. Although a man who has fallen in the ocean may struggle very hard and may be very expert in swimming, he cannot save himself. But if someone comes and picks him up from the water, then he is easily rescued. Similarly, the Lord picks up the devotee from this material existence. One simply has to practice the easy process of Krishna consciousness and fully engage himself in devotional service. Any intelligent man should always prefer the process of devotional service to all other paths. In the Narayaniya, this is confirmed as follows. Ya vai sadhana sampattihi purushata chatushthaye taya vina tadapnoti naro narayanashrayaha. The purport of this verse is that one should not engage in the different processes of fruitive activity or cultivate knowledge by the mental speculative process. One who is devoted to the Supreme Personality can attain all the benefits derived from other yogic processes, speculation, rituals, sacrifices, charities, etc. That is the specific benediction of devotional service, simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A devotee of the Lord can approach the supreme destination easily and happily, but this destination cannot be approached by any other process of religion. The conclusion of Bhagavad-gita is stated in the 18th chapter. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekang sharanang vraja ahang tvang sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shutaha. One should give up all other processes of self-realization and simply execute devotional service in Krishna consciousness. That will enable one to reach the highest perfection of life. There is no need for one to consider the sinful actions of his past life, because the Supreme Lord fully takes charge of him. Therefore, one should not futilely try to deliver himself in spiritual realization. Let everyone take shelter of the Supreme Omnipotent Godhead, Krishna. That is the highest perfection of life. Yeah, these two verses parallel the verse which Srila Prabhupada quotes toward the end of his purport, the famous Sarvadhaman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. That if you just surrender to me, Krishna says, I will deliver you from all sins. Krishna says the same thing here in a more elaborate way, and brings together in these two verses practically all the topics of the Bhagavad-gita. The topics of Bhagavad-gita begin with the question of work, because Arjuna was concerned that the work that he was expected to do is swakarma. Swakarma, or which is parallel to swadharma, or the work that he was expected to do according to his situation as a kshatriya. Arjuna was concerned that that would be sinful. So he was concerned with how to act, or maybe not to act at all. What would be the result? He was concerned with the results of his work. And in the course of this discussion in Bhagavad-gita, the question of renunciation arises. Arjuna wanted to renounce his activities. Then Krishna introduces himself as the Supreme. He several times speaks about Ananya Bhakti. Ananyas chintayanto mam yejanaf pariyapasate. Tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam bahamyam. Ananya cheta satata. This word Ananya he uses often. He uses it here also. He doesn't speak of Ananya Bhakti here, he speaks of Ananya Yoga, which is the same thing, actually. Because Mam Dhayanta, one who worships me, Mam Dhayanta Upaste, one who worships me and meditates upon me. So these are also concepts that have come up in the Bhagavad-gita. Meditation, one-pointed meditation. And then Krishna says, for one who does this, one who gives up all his all his work, he does sannyas of that work. But not by stopping, by sannyas, renunciation of that work, not by stopping the work, but by accepting Krishna as supreme and offering all that work to me. So, work, sannyas, yoga, meditation, it's all to be centered on Krishna. That's the point which Krishna makes here. And then Krishna says, for one who does that, I will swiftly deliver them from the ocean of birth and death, which is another topic which comes up in the Bhagavad-gita, is that of that this material world is miserable, and therefore an intelligent person should try to get released from this world, should get mukti. But that again, it all comes by centering everything on Krishna. And Krishna personally delivers such a devotee. And bhavami nachirat partha maya veshata chetasam. For one who is absorbed in me, you'll find in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad-gita there's discussion of absorption in yoga, and Krishna makes it clear, one who's absorbed in me in this way, nachirat, in a short time, it means, not after a long time. For one who's thus absorbed, very quickly I deliver them from birth and death. Whereas we find that previously Krishna said, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavang mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sadurlabha. It may take many, many births to come to the point of accepting Krishna as supreme. But one who does accept Krishna as supreme, he doesn't have to wait for many, many births, but as soon as one comes to that point and fully dedicates himself in Krishna consciousness, then Krishna delivers them. So there's no need of doing all the other things. How to do all that? Well, that's also very easy. As Srila Prabhupada twice quotes in this purport by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Both japa and kirtan. And we've been, in the last few days, been having lots of blissful kirtan. So, yeah, chant Hare Krishna. That is the conclusion. Chant Hare Krishna and everything will be alright. Krishna says, all these questions you have in your mind, Arjuna, about karma and dharma and sannyas and all these mukti and all these difficult things, just chant Hare Krishna. That's all. Everything's easy. Complex philosophy in Bhagavad-gita. All made easy. The conclusion is bhakti. Very clearly the conclusion is bhakti. From this chapter 12 we can see that although Krishna does discuss karma, jnana, yoga, dhyana, demigod worship, all kinds of different things in Bhagavad-gita, it's not, as some people foolishly conclude, that they're all on the same level. Krishna very discusses all these and very clearly establishes bhakti as supreme. Bhakti means to Krishna. So, how these people come to such a conclusion is, well, that's also stated in Bhagavad-gita. Nahang prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavrita mudho yang na vijanati lokam mamajamabhyayam. Because they're fools, Krishna does not reveal himself to them. Otherwise, it's very clear from Bhagavad-gita that bhakti to Krishna is the message of Bhagavad-gita. And therefore the message of all the Upanishads, the ultimate message, the ultimate instruction to everyone. But still, foolish people read Bhagavad-gita and find something else. Find some other ideas. Alright, Hare Krishna. Please study Bhagavad-gita as it is. Your time will be well spent. Hare Krishna. So we'll finish there. Alright, I came here actually because I'm always speaking in so many places. I want to sit down and write, actually. Writing will be more well, it's more definitive. In writing, one has to get it just right. Whereas in speaking, the ideas may be not so cogent as in writing they should be, and writing also preserves and is able to be distributed very quickly. So if you kindly allow me for the few days I'm here. Of course I have other things to do also. So, Hare Krishna.